Everyone, and happy Easter. So this is my knitting update for the month of April. I've been MIA, I know, but I am still here. And while this has not been a very good month for me with my reading, I've only read one book and I'm halfway through the book that I'm reading now. This has been a wonderful month for my knitting, and so I am definitely super excited to be filming this and showing my knitting projects to you guys. I made a resolution this year to knit one project a month, and it has honestly been slow goings. A lot of the projects that I've done it, I'm up to date. But a lot of the projects that I've worked on have been projects that I kind of already had a head start on anyways. And so, and even then I was still like, busting my butt to have them done by the end of the month. But this month I focused a lot less on my reading and a lot more time on my knitting. And so I have totally like made some wonderful, wonderful things that I'm really excited to talk about. And so I'm so glad to be filming this. And so I just wanted to talk about what I've made so far and the new project that I've started. And so, yeah, let me get into that. So the first thing that I finished for this month is my husband's beanie, which I talked about in my last knitting video. And this is just a really quick, I kind of don't like the way the top turned out. The top's a little funky. But I think I kind of tried to just kind of close it all together too quickly, and so it just kind of did this little weird thing here. But he likes it, so whatever. And so, yeah, so this is the hat that I made for my husband. And honestly, this is kind of funny because, I thought that I didn't have a lot of red. And so I used mostly green and just put a little red at the top. And I was like, oh, this is going to look like an angry red nipple, like at the top of his hat. Maybe if I would have put like a little I-cord at the top, it probably would have, a little green boob, red nipple. But it doesn't. So he likes this hat. It's very easy. I think it took me like 2 or 3 days to make it. And he loves it. This is Knit Picks Wool of the Andes yarn, if I'm not mistaken. It's their just 100% wool worsted weight yarn. I love this yarn. It has lots of colors. It's not super, super scratchy. I just love Knit Picks, period. Seriously, I could buy all their stuff up. So pretty much all the yarn that I get almost always comes from Knit Picks. Yeah, so this next project, I am so excited to show this to you guys. Like, seriously. I bought this kit a long, long, long time ago. Never worked on it. And then finally I was like, you know what? This is going to be my next project. I'm going to sit down and work on this kit. And oh my gosh, I am like obsessed with this hat. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I think I'm going to try to sell it. Even though I'm sad to do so because it's just so beautiful. I don't want to get rid of it, but it doesn't fit my head. But this is the hat that I made. Oh, look at those colors. Isn't it amazing? This is the hat that I made, and see, it has these tassels at the bottom, which I absolutely adore. And then there's the ear flaps, and this is little llamas, and these are little llamas right here, and it just has all these wonderful colors. And then I modified it. It didn't have these stripes at the top, but I added them, and then I wanted it to have a little bit more of a pointier shape, and so I made it a little bit more pointy at the top. And then it only had one tassel at the top, and it was not very long, and I really wanted a long tassel because this is the Andean Chuyo pattern on the Knit Picks website. And if you look up Andean Chuyo hats like online, the traditional ones, some of the tops are really, really long. It has these really long tassels and all these, really big like pom-poms. They're beautiful. And so I'm so excited to have gotten a chance to work on this hat because it's gorgeous. It's so beautiful in person. And the yarn it came from Knit Picks. It was a Knit Picks kit. It's Knit Picks palette yarn, which I absolutely adore for colorwork knitting. It's just wonderful. It's amazing yarn. And so, yeah, and it only took me a week to make this. And so this hat looks really, really intricate, but it's not. It's just a lot of color. And that's why I love colorwork knitting, because it's just stockinette stitch. But because of all the colors and the motifs, it makes it look so much more elaborate than it actually is. And so, yeah, this is the hat. And so this is what the inside looks like. I think this is the cool thing about colorwork knitting is the inside almost looks like you could wear it because the inside looks really cool too. So I'll show you guys. It'll turn it inside out and I'll show you guys. And I'll have a couple of yarn ends here and there, but for the most part it looks really good. See, the inside kind of looks like you could wear it on the inside too. But yeah, and so I learned a couple of new things with this pattern, namely, well, actually only really one new thing that I'd never done before, which is it has an applied I-cord edge, which I love the finish of that, because if any of you that are knitters, when you knit in stockinette stitch, it has a tendency to curl up, and so once I blocked it and put the I-cord on it, it's flat and it's not doing that, because when I knitted it, the ear flaps were all curling under and the top was the bottom of the hat was kind of curling up. But now that it's been blocked and it has an I-cord edge on it, it's not curling up. And so yeah, so this is my hat that I made this month. I may just keep it because I just need to have like evidence that I made something this pretty. So I may just keep it, but if I can get a good price for it, I'm going to sell it. Okay. And then the last project that I made, I don't have because it was a gift for a little girl. My son's best friend's sister, a little sister, turned 1, and so I like knit this hat up really quickly. I think I did it in like a day to make this for her, but I do have a picture of it, and so I'm going to show it to you guys. See? There it is. This is the hat right here. This is my son looking very, very morose because he did not want to model this hat for me. But I needed a head. And his is the smallest out of my kids because my daughter has a big, huge fro like mine. And then my other son has a mohawk, and so it just would not fit on their head. So Darius is almost bald from chemo. So I made him model my hat. So yeah, so that is the products that I made this month. So yeah, I had a totally like awesome knitting month. And so what I'm working on now is, because I had so much fun doing the colorwork knitting, and I hadn't done any colorwork knitting in a very, very, very long time. And I forgot how much fun it was and how much I enjoyed it. So now what I'm doing is I'm taking this pattern that I used for this hat, but completely just blanking it out and kind of trying to do some of my own designs. And so my husband asked me to make him a Raiders hat. And so this is kind of what I've been doing. I just got some graph paper and I've just been kind of working on some motifs to do. This is the little Raiders symbol. I kind of did that myself. It's a little... Hey, shoot, I think it looks good. And then I'm also working on like a snowflake pattern because I want to maybe make another one with snowflake pattern and some really nice colors. This is some of the other stuff that I'm doing, you know, trying to like change the ear flap and, you know, work on the snowflakes and stuff like that. And then for a friend of mine, I am going to be surprising her with a Star Wars themed colorwork hat. So I'm really excited about that one. And so I've been doing like, this is the symbol of the Rebel Alliance. And so this is the ear flap, symbol of the Rebel Alliance. I've already knit one ear flap up, and then I've got this one. It's kind of like a border. It says Star Wars, although from here they look like Z's, backwards Z's, but I tell you, they're really S's. But Star Wars, and then I don't know what this little symbol is, because crazy enough as it is, as much of a nerd as I is, I've never seen Star Wars, you guys. I know. Please don't hit me. And then this is some what are they called? Fuck. I can't believe I don't remember what they're called. Whatever. Anyways, there's troopers or whatever. I know what their names are, but for some reason my mind is blanking. So I'm doing like these faces, and then this is a lightsaber right here, and so I'm going to be working on that. And so I have one of the ear flaps knit up, so I'll show you what it looks like. And so I'm really excited to see this, because this will be my first attempt at designing anything of my own. So, yeah, so here is the Rebel Alliance symbol on an ear flap. And so my friend's favorite color is black, but I wanted to add a little color into it. And she had actually asked me to make her some socks out of this yarn right here, and I just never got around to it. So I just figured I'd use this and kind of create this sort of colorful Star Wars themed hat. So these are my contrasting colors. So yeah, the yarn here is Knit Picks Imagination hand painted, I think, and cartoon, or Knit Picks. It's one of the Knit Pick yarn, and the colorway is cartoons. And then the black is just Knit Picks palette. So, and then I'm knitting them on US size 3 circular needles. So yeah, woo. Sorry, y'all. Anyways, so that is my knitting update. I will definitely update you guys with the progress of my hat as it comes along. I'm super, super stoked to see how it turns out. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful Easter and happy knitting. Bye-bye.